Welcome back to the channel, everybody. I'm Joel White. I'm a filmmaker, an actor, and a storyteller, and I love movies. So I'm going to be talking about the new Snow White trailer today. If you've seen it, I'd love to know what your thoughts are. I'm just going to come out right out the gate and just say I'm not super excited. It looks a little boring to me. But to be fair, I'm just not a huge fan of the live-action Disney remakes. They're not my thing. Now, some of them are all right, and I do enjoy them. I don't hate them strictly. It's just I feel like a lot of them are just, they don't have the same heart as the originals. And I really don't want to sound like some old dude, okay? I grew up with a lot of the animated films and I love them. But like I said, there are some live action ones that I have enjoyed, but I just feel like the more recent ones, I don't know how to put it. It just seems like paint by numbers sort of thing. Like they have their formula. I just don't feel like they're taking any risks, or the risks that they are taking, they're not creative or artistic. It's more ideological. And I just don't think that plays well in art, usually, especially if it's something that's well established. That being said, it doesn't look terrible, but it's just a teaser. So I would have to say, I think that this is probably the safest teaser they could have done for this movie, considering there's been a lot of bad publicity concerning this film over the last couple of years. They've had to do a lot of reshoots, and that's pretty well known, especially if you keep up with film. And it's pretty bizarre, a lot of the things that Rachel Zegler has said about this film and about the original film as well, which is kind of crazy. The original Snow White is an animated classic. I mean, it's the first animated feature that Walt Disney made. It's brilliant, it's wonderful. It's loved by so many people. And just some of the comments that have been made, I mean, you can go look up all the interviews yourself, and I'm sure if you've watched any other channels or videos about this kind of stuff, you've seen the clips already. I don't need to play the clips for you. But it's just kind of concerning. It's like, well, it doesn't seem like she really wants to be a part of the film. That aside, right, there's all this stuff going on with the film, and they're trying to, I would assume, put their best foot forward. That's what you do when you market your film. So I feel like this teaser was really, really safe. And I say that because there's hardly anything to it. You know, we see Snow White, we see the Evil Queen, we kind of vaguely see the dwarves, and they don't go into much, which again is fair because it's a teaser. But me, as someone who's seen the original, you know, a lot growing up and so forth, it's like I would hope you'd show me a little bit more of this film, of the live action, maybe something new. I don't think that they showed anything that was really that compelling, nothing that I haven't really seen, I guess. You know, I think people have commented on this already, but I'm not a big fan of the design for the dwarves. I don't think they look good. And again, touching on a bit of the drama concerning this film as well, from what I understand, and you can look into all this, and it's such a mess, I don't even know what's really true, but it seems like they had actually hired people to play the dwarves, and they weren't strictly going to be dwarves. They were going to be magical people, or they were going to be bandits or something. But then there was backlash because of that. So then they decided, well, now let's animate these dwarves. And I just think the result isn't that great. Now, again, I don't want to talk bad about the animators because people put a lot of hard work into that. And I'm always impressed by computer graphics skills and people who are artists. That's difficult stuff. I can't do it. I'm always impressed. And it's not their fault usually, on a design. There's someone usually who designs it or has the final say of yes, we're going with this. And so they have no choice but to animate in that design. The designs don't really evoke the look of the originals to me. I mean, kinda a little, but it's weird because even though they're dwarves, I would think that they would animate them in a style that would be a little more humanistic, even though they're mythical creatures. But they look like cartoons. So when you have live action people and cartoons right there, it's I don't really understand what you're going for in terms of look and feel for the film. So I just think there's a disconnect. Now, I mean, feel free to disagree. I don't think that would strictly make or break the film necessarily. If the characterizations of the dwarves are good, if they stay true to the character of Snow White, if they stay true to the moral of the story, I think people could look past it. But that's my concern, is I don't know exactly what direction they're going to go with, because the films that Disney has been releasing lately, it just seems like there's always some kind of message to it rather than just the actual art. And I mean, I know art can be a vehicle for ideas, and that's not necessarily a bad thing, but also art is supposed to be escapism, and entertainment is supposed to help us feel things and understand things. So if you get too heavy-handed, especially in a kids movie, that's a problem. So I don't know what to expect from this. I've got ideas. If I'm being honest, there's other Snow White films, like the Snow White and the Huntsman films, Mirror Mirror, the original animated classic, that right now I feel like I'd rather watch those than this film. I'll wait and see for a new trailer. Maybe that'll change my mind. I don't know. But it's pretty crazy because there's another Snow White film being made, and I feel like the pressure is on from Disney. I think that's why there was a lot of reshoots for this film. And I'm curious to see what that new Snow White film will look like as well. So anyway, those are my thoughts on the trailer. What did you guys think? Are you excited? Are you worried? Drop your comments below. Let me know what you think. I love getting a conversation going. As always, guys, thank you so much for watching my videos. It really means so much to me. If you enjoyed the video, please like, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one.